Hi, I'm John Godbolt, your host and pastor of the Christ Gospel Church. Welcome to our telecast, Surprise Message. I hope and pray that what you hear and see will challenge you, challenge your relationship with Jesus Christ. Enjoy the broadcast. We'll be back at the end. I want to talk to you about your altar. Let's stand right here in the center. Let me talk to you about your altar. You can build, every one of us have altar. We have an altar, every one of us. If you notice this picture up here, you will see in the center of the heart of Jesus is an altar of incense. And you see off the incense, there's a smoke that's actually going up right to his nostrils. In other words, what is coming off that altar goes right to his nose. What is being consumed is going right to his nose. Now, I want to ask you this question. Is this nauseating to Jesus? What you burning, is it nauseating? Is it making him sick? Is it so bad that when you think about it, you won't even tell anybody about it? You don't tell anybody what you're doing. You just know stuff you're doing. If I told folk what I was doing, what I'm reading, what I'm looking at, what I do on the side when I'm not in church, when nobody's around. Can we be real right now? See, I'm glad you came to church. I'm grateful. I didn't come in to beat you down and make you want to walk out the door. I'm glad that you come. I'm glad that you're here. I'm excited. I'm so glad I don't have to preach this message to myself. I would if I had to. But the key is, I don't want you to leave here assuming because you walked through the doors and you lift your hands and felt the presence of God one or two times that that's ultimate for you. You got to walk out these doors and have an altar 24/7. They offered a sacrifice to the Lord morning and evening every single day that God sent. You don't come to church every day. Even if you did come in morning and evening, you wouldn't last. You got to go out of here. Is this making sense? So this is greatest altar. All right. Now what? It'll stay right there. You see that? That's how it is. He can raise his hand. Can you raise your hand? He can raise his hands. His altar is right there. So what happens is, when you first got into this world, you got introduced to some things. Some of that stuff that you had in your life. There's some things that we did while we were in the world that nauseated the Father. And the Son say, don't cut him off yet. Don't cut him off yet. I will keep the blood over them. Your attitude was horrible. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. You were listening to some stuff. You were doing some things. And the Father couldn't take it. And the Son said, I know it's nauseating, but Father, let me have it. Let the blood cover them. Don't cut them off. So what the Son does is he has, step over a little bit now. Back off a little bit. There's another altar called a brazen altar. And this altar is at the bottom. This is one that's on the outside. It's a courtyard altar. I'm going to talk to you about two altars today. One you got to lay on so you can give up some flesh. And another one you got to clean up so the Father can say, now that's a sweet smell. That's what I've been waiting on. Come on, somebody lift up your hands and bless him. Now, when I say I'm getting so many things coming at me, let me just try to stick with this for a moment. When the Lord said to Moses, build an altar, even though Joshua has fought with Amalek and has cut him off, build an altar because this will not end today. There will be constant battles, generation after generation. Amalek was a direct descendant of Esau. Esau was a twin brother of Jacob. All right. Even though Esau and Jacob made up as brothers, their seeds never did. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You may have gotten it right with somebody else in your life, but there's some things that have been set up to work with you and mess with you until you get out of here. Now, if you were involved in some of this stuff, lust, marijuana, somebody said marijuana, marijuana, rolling joints, yeah, needles, and I mean, that's a whole wheelbarrow full of money. That's what that is. Yeah, alcohol. There's some real alcohol back there. Just overindulging in food, and yeah, one of those kind of women, that kind of car, that kind of lust, that kind of desire that we have, and our altar. God said, "I want to be the." Put blood on the horns of your altar. I want something up here that makes me know you love me. Now, the eyes of the Lord, let's move over one more time. I hope this is making some sense. The eyes of the Lord are not on the altar, brazen altar. According to Chronicles, the eyes of the Lord run to and fro. In other words, he's watching how many times, not how many times you come up here and dance, but how many times you come to this altar, make a sacrifice, how many times you run over to the candlestick, see how much truth you need, and then run over to the table of showbread and say, Lord, give me convenient bread for this day. I want the bread I need to eat this day. You know what? It's obvious to me. Now, forgive me for going there. Come back. It's obvious to me in America that we love to eat. It's also obvious to me that we love to eat the wrong thing. Naturally and spiritually, we love to eat. And you can be told that you got no business eating all of that. You can be shown what a civil, a respectable serving looks like. But you still hit the buffet. Come on now. Come on. I don't know why you're looking at me like that. Come on. And every time you promise, get me a Diet Coke. Well, at least I... If indeed the natural is a type of the spiritual, how much junk do we feed our souls and our spirit man? How much stuff do you sit in front of every day looking at that has nothing, that just filling this altar with lust? And every time the Father wants to come near you, he's, I can't come. The Son said, don't, not yet, Father, not yet. Let me dig about this tree a little longer. Let me work about this thing. Let me dung it a little more. Don't come yet, Lord. You get convicted when you come to the house of God. I preach my heart and I pray for you and I want you to make it. And you say, yeah, Pastor, I'm going to do it. God knows I'm going to do it. The whipping was so much today, I just got to do it. Thank you for whipping me, Pastor. You just tell me I love you for tearing my rear up. Thank you, Pastor. And you walk out the church and turn around and do the very same thing again. When will you learn to clean this altar up? Oh, you got hot up in here. You're still sleepy. Hey, wake up. It's not the church now. That's you. So the Lord is saying, Moses, I want you to set an altar as an emblem, as a sign that there's a battle that is going to constantly run. It's roaring. Every day it's running. It's building. I got ready to